The date is April 2026, and over the skies of Iran, a foundational belief of modern warfare has just been shattered. The myth of American air dominance, a myth built on decades and trillions of dollars of stealth technology, is coming apart at the seams. And as one superpower faces a crisis, another is quietly and very strategically forging a new path forward. This is the story of that seismic shift.
Now, I need you to stay with me till the end of this, because I'm going to reveal some pretty shocking things in this explainer, especially when it comes to internal security. Things you really need to see to understand the full picture. Okay, let's get back into it.
So let's start with this. What we're witnessing here isn't just a few planes getting shot down. No. This is the potential collapse of a multi-trillion-dollar military philosophy, the core belief that you can own the skies simply by being invisible. And that brings us to this central question, right? The one haunting the halls of the Pentagon. How did a program that cost $1.7 trillion, the result of decades of bleeding-edge research, how did it get so completely neutralized in just a little over a month? Well, the answer reveals a vulnerability that, believe it or not, has been hiding in plain sight.
To really get our heads around this, you have to look at the price tag. We're talking about more than $5 billion in high-tech military hardware just gone. And this isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. This represents a serious blow to combat capability in one of the most critical regions on the planet. And when you break it down, you can see a clear, deliberate strategy at play. They weren't just hunting for fighters. Look at this. They went for the eyes and the ears of the whole operation, taking out $2 billion worth of THAAD radar systems and a $500 million AWACS plane that blinds an entire theater of war. The fighters and the drones, they were just the last dominoes to fall. So, what's the secret weapon? What's the magic trick? Well, it's not magic at all. It's just physics. You see, stealth is all about fooling radar waves, but you can't fool thermodynamics. A jet flying at supersonic speeds generates an incredible amount of heat from its engines, from the sheer friction of the air itself. And these IRST systems, they don't look for a radar blip. They look for that unavoidable heat signature, turning the sky into a thermal map, where even an invisible jet glows like a torch. Now, while the West is reeling from this new reality, India is making some very decisive moves based on a totally different idea: self-reliance. New Delhi's response isn't just about chasing the next high-tech gadget. It's about owning the entire production line for its own critical defense needs. And they're starting with some serious heavy-duty ordnance. And the details here show just how smart this approach is. India's developing a 1,000-kilogram class bomb. It's a Make-I project, which means at least 50% of it has to be built by Indian industry. But here's the genius part. It's being designed from the ground up to be plug-and-play with both their Russian-made Su-30 MKIs and their French-made Rafales. That gives the Indian Air Force incredible flexibility. You know, this table really says it all. This isn't just a small change, it's a massive strategic pivot. Right now, India has to rely on foreign-made bombs. This new program shifts that from dependency to Atmanirbhar self-reliance. It's not just about building a bomb, it's about building a sovereign capability. And notice that goal: high peak overpressure. That's the shockwave you need to take down hardened targets like bunkers. Its purpose is crystal clear. Okay, so from brute force, let's turn to silent, constant observation. India is also investing in something pretty revolutionary, a surveillance platform that could totally change the game for monitoring its borders. We're talking about a hydrogen-powered pseudo-satellite. And the real game changer here is just one word: persistence. I mean, the absolute best military drones in the world can stay up for maybe 24, 36 hours if they're lucky. This airship, it's designed to stay on station for 10 straight days. That's not just a little better. It's a complete paradigm shift in surveillance. And with that kind of endurance, you get a whole new mission profile. It can take off by itself, climb up to 30,000 feet, way above most ground fire, and just stay there. Its massive 5,000-kilogram payload means it can carry all sorts of advanced sensors to watch volatile borders 24/7. But that fourth step, that's the real kicker. The potential to act as a mothership, launching smaller drones or even missiles, that turns it into a true force multiplier. But, you know, all the hardware in the world only gets you so far. In geopolitics, strategy, and diplomacy, those are the ultimate weapons. And while a hot war is breaking out in the Persian Gulf, India is basically teaching a masterclass in how to navigate those treacherous waters through its policy of strategic autonomy. First, let's just understand the stakes here. The Strait of Hormuz isn't just a waterway, it's a choke point. A full 20%, one-fifth of the entire world's crude oil supply, has to pass through this tiny strait. When things go wrong here, the entire global economy holds its breath.
And yet, in the middle of all this chaos, there's a very different story unfolding for one nation. While ships from other countries are being targeted or diverted, Indian-linked vessels are just sailing right on through. The Green Sandvi delivered its cargo. Oil imports are holding steady. And why? Because Iran has officially labeled India a friendly nation. Now that's not luck. That's the payoff from decades of careful, independent foreign policy. But here's the thing. A nation's strength on the world stage is only as solid as its stability at home. And as India's global stature rises, you can bet its adversaries are working overtime to try and destabilize it from the inside. There's a quiet, relentless shadow war being fought every single day on Indian soil. And this isn't some abstract threat. In just the last 48 hours, 2 major terror plots backed by Pakistan's ISI have been completely dismantled. In Chandigarh, a cell was planning to attack a BJP office. Its handlers were traced all the way to Germany and Portugal. And in Lucknow, the UPATS stopped an attack on a railway station. These aren't random acts, they're coordinated attempts to create chaos. And critically, this wasn't some amateur operation. The leader of that Lucknow module, a guy they called Saqib alias Devil, was in direct contact with his handlers in Pakistan using sophisticated, encrypted apps. That one detail tells you everything. There's a clear, direct, and active command structure trying to undermine India from within. The threat is real, and it's smart.
So, what does all this mean? Where does this leave us? Well, we are clearly at an inflection point. The old rules of global power, the ones defined by ideas like stealth dominance and picking a superpower to hide behind, those rules are being torn up and rewritten in real time.
And the lesson couldn't be more obvious. Whether it's building your own bombs, deploying your own unblinking eye in the sky, charting your own course diplomatically, or securing your own homeland from internal threats, self-reliance, Atmanirbhar, has gone from being a nice political slogan to an absolutely essential strategy for survival in the 21st century. Which brings us right back to that first big question. Is the age of stealth actually over? Was it brought to an end by a simple law of physics? Or is this just the start of a whole new cat-and-mouse game? A new arms race between being seen and being able to see?
What do you think? Can these new defense projects truly secure India's future? I really want to know what you think, so drop your thoughts in the comment section below.
And if you want to keep exploring these new rules of defense and geopolitics, make sure you like this explainer, subscribe to the channel, and definitely hit that notification bell so you don't miss our latest analysis.
Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.